Welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Hadiza Galadima, and here is our news in brief. To start with, the Defense Headquarters has officially confirmed the painful passing of retired Major General Rabi Abubakar, the former Director of Defense Information. The late general, who was adopted alongside his wife along the Katsina Matazu Road, tragically passed away from medical complications while in custody of bandits. A high-powered military delegation led by the Chief of Administration, Major General I.M. Abdullahi, paid a condolence visit to the Katsina State government, delivering the military high command's message. General Abdullahi described the late officer's service to the nation as indelible and firmly declared that the armed forces of Nigeria would deploy all necessary resources to ensure those responsible are tracked down and brought to justice. And a fresh wave of coordinated kidnappings and bandit attack across several states has triggered a renewed security emergency. A special report highlights a dangerous strategic shift, with criminal networks expanding their operations to target soft targets in vulnerable communities and academic institutions across states like Kogi, Edo, and Ogun. In a swift response, the Ogun State government under Governor Dapo Abiodun announced a complete overhaul of security around educational institutions. The state has intensified surveillance, activated its school protection squad, and deployed tech-driven monitoring systems to deter criminal elements and ensure schools remain safe zones for learning. Also, the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has issued a stern warning to political leaders, stating that Nigeria's democracy cannot survive the current wave of bloodshed and kidnapping. Marking the conclusion of a three-day national mourning period, CAN President Archbishop Daniel Oko led a nationwide Black Sunday observance to honor the victims of violence. In a powerful message supported by regional church leaders, the association criticized politicians for prioritizing premature 2027 electioneering over the lives of citizens under siege. Clerics, including prominent voices in Jos and Borno, declared a no security, no election stance, demanding that the federal government immediately accelerate the implementation of state and community policing to restore local accountability. And questions are mounting over the structural efficiency of Nigeria's security apparatus following a widening gap between defense expenditures and safety on the ground. Recent data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute reveals that Nigeria's defense spending spiked by a staggering 55%, rising from $1.35 billion to $2.1 billion. State government additionally allocated over 525 billion naira to opaque security votes. Despite this historic influx of resources, security analysts point out a deep contradiction. The military remains largely reactive, struggling to dismantle shifting criminal networks that continue to hold sway over critical economic and agricultural corridors. Experts are calling for a surgical review of troop morale, field intelligence, and resource transparency to address why these massive financial commitments are not yielding commensurate results. And lastly, on the international scene, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has issued a direct appeal to global superpowers, warning that the world is standing at a dangerous crossroad. highlighting a profound imbalance in global priorities. The UN chief revealed that worldwide military spending has soared to an unprecedented $2.7 trillion, with more than a quarter of humanity now living in conflict-affected zones and nearly 120 million people forcibly displaced. Guterres urged global leaders to shift their financial focus away from methods of destruction and towards fighting poverty, climate breakdown, and inequality. Now moving on to business news with Shukra Oniye.
Sector. Nigeria's value-added tax revenue rose to 2.42 trillion in the first quarter of 2026, reflecting improved tax collection and increased economic activities across various sectors of the economy. The figure is one of the strongest quarterly VAT performance in the recent years and signals growing government effort to improve compliance and expand the tax base. For many analysts, this is more than just a number. The increase in VAT revenue suggests that more businesses are participating in formal economy and more transactions are being captured by the tax system. Experts say the additional revenue could provide government with more resources to fund critical sectors such as education, healthcare, transportation, and infrastructure development. Staying with the economy, Nigeria's external trade performance has also delivered positive news. The country recorded a trade surplus of 7.55 trillion in the first quarter of 2026, meaning the value of exports exceeded imports during the period under review. The surplus was largely driven by earnings from crude oil exports and supported by contributions from non-oil productions. Now, what does that mean for an average Nigerian? Economists say healthy trade surplus can strengthen external reserves, improve investor confidence, and support exchange rate stability. They add that if sustained, the development could contribute to the broader economic growth and provide a stronger foundation for long-term recovery. In another development, discussions continue over new tax recommendation for Nigeria. The IMF has proposed additional tax measures, including possible adjustment to telecommunication and fuel-related taxes, as part of efforts to improve government revenue generation. However, the recommendations have generated mixed reaction. The Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise and other economists have cautioned that introducing new taxes at this time could increase the cost of doing businesses and place additional financial strain on households already facing inflation and rising cost of living. The debate once again raises a familiar question. Should government increase taxes to raise revenue or focus on expanding economic productivity and improving tax efficiency? And on the international scene, global oil markets are responding positively to easing geopolitical tension. Brent crude prices dropped below $85 per barrel following reports of peace agreements between the United States and Iran. The decline in oil prices have lifted market sentiment, with investors expressing optimism that reduced tension could contribute to greater stability in global energy markets. Analysts say lower oil prices may also ease the inflationary pressures in several economies by reducing energy and transportation costs. For an oil-producing country like Nigeria, lower crude prices present a mixed picture. While they can reduce global inflation, they may also affect government revenue if prices continue to decline. And that's your business news update today. Stay with us as we now join Hadiza Galadima and Abubakar Treki for Newspaper Review. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that break, and is our next segment, which is our newspaper review, and which we usually do with our main man, Abubakar Turaki. Abubakar, how are you?
Diza, it's been a while.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling much better.
It's a great pleasure sitting with you again.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome. It's actually your seat, so you're the man who fits the seat. Well, let's get right straight into the business of the day, and we begin with our first headlines, which is coming from Daily Monitor. And this one says, insecurity, ministers, governors may become targets, and this is also coming from Brutai. Abubakar, let's have your reactions first on this topic.
Of course, this is coming from the mouth of the horses, because General Brutai was the former chief of army staff. And with the way the security situation is becoming more obvious, to Nigerians that nobody is safe. I even saw recently Atiku Abubakar said that the country is at siege, which is definitely obvious. And we saw how people are being kidnapped in a broad daylight, how people are being slaughtered, how people are being killed, and how people are entering into negotiation with criminals, because we have to call them criminals. And there is no any iota of doubt they are criminals, because they have been perpetuating crimes and making Nigerians' life to be miserable. And in this country, we saw people that are even trying to go into truth and reconciliation with them. I have to borrow from what Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai said, that the only repentant bandit is a dead one. So how do you expect to negotiate with somebody that has been killing without any purpose?
But this same person was actually the person that told us, okay, not Buritaisha, it was, I think, Oda Christopher, where he said, Christopher Musa, where he said, these people are our brothers. So that means automatically we should learn to embrace them. No. But if the former chief of staff can come out, or let's say let Buritai now come out and tell you that governors, senators, ministers, that's like the elite are actually in trouble, then what can a common man, a common Nigerian who has no hope, because mostly we are saying our hopes are on you people, and you come out to tell us this, what can Nigerians, how would they feel?
You know, Hadiza, do you know there's what we call social contract? It's a social contract. It's an agreement, voluntary agreement. We surrender our own allegiance to them in order to protect them. Because we saw recently the kind of kidnapping that is currently going on in this country. It's just like a Kannywood movie. Because a general will be adopted, a common Nigerian will be adopted. Then who is safe? The only people that are safe are the governors, the senators, and those people that miraculously God Almighty Allah is taking control of their own activities. Because if you are taking of those that are in the political office are safe, we saw recently when a former general left office after his relinquishment, he was adopted, and subsequently he died in the hands of the bandit. Then nobody is safe. And the primary responsibility of them is to protect us. We saw recently last week or last 2 weeks when the Minister of Power, Tegbe, when he assumed office, he said to Nigerians that Nigerians should pray to God to give us power. Recently, we saw the Minister of Defense, Matawale, saying that it is only God that can at least take the security architecture of this country. It is only God that can make Nigeria a peaceful state. What is this thing is telling you? This is actually telling you that the government have failed to provide everything. Then as a Nigerian, what is next for you? Put on your thinking caps, get your PVC, get ready ahead of 2027, vote them out and bring those that you have the will, and those people that you feel like maybe those people are going to provide all the necessary things that we are liking. Mind you, Nigerians politicians are not to be trusted. If we reflect back to 2014, the same scenario that we have been seeing now, it was exactly what happened in 2014, which even to some Nigerians, what we are currently seeing is even worse than what is currently going on in 2014-13 that led to the defeat of the PDP government.
Well, like you said, the people who are supposed to protect the citizens are telling you should pray to God or let God give us the strength so for our insecurity issues to be managed and all that. If them can come out and say this, remember God said, let me just go, I'm not going to go deeply religious, but God said, there's a word they say, heaven help those who help themselves. So if you don't stand up to do something, like you said, put on your thinking cap, and we should go out in mass to vote, would our vote still count? Because we have a lot of people who don't even care about getting PVCs. Yeah, that's just one thing again. Yeah. So if you don't even care about giving PVCs, because you know at the end of the day, my vote would not count, what is the use? And we also have other people now in some parts of Nigeria telling you that, okay, we think gun licensing is something, I think every individual, like I was in a discussion with somebody and he said, if he has the power to be a president today, he will make sure that every citizen knows how to handle a gun. You are like at a very old age, and we're seeing videos online going viral whereby little boys, they'll tell you they're like 30 to 40 in number, that they are not up to like 15 years old. They are being trained how to dismantle, how to arrange, and how to shoot. If they can channel their energy, I'm not saying that everybody should own a gun, but what should they do differently to make Nigerians not to even think of going to that level of owning guns? How can they change the security architecture of Nigeria to make us have better stories to talk about our security landscape?
Let them think that the equal distribution of resources, because all this thing that is going, it all boils down to the resources. It all boils down to partition of power. It all boils down to politics. It all boils down to selfish interests. It all boils down to lackadaisical attitude. It all boils down to lack of patriotism among the leaders and even the citizen. If you are truly patriotic and you believe that this country belongs to all of us, why will you even at least organize a group of syndicates to perpetuate all sorts of insecurity? There are conspiracy that there are few Nigerians that are actually orchestrating this issue of insecurity just for their own self-aggrandizement, just for their own selfish interests. Because we know people that are conflict entrepreneurs. Once if the country is stable, that is the way of getting money to them is their own downfall. And what will benefit them? When a country where a general was killed, a general was kidnapped, then who are you as a common citizen? Then they should find a way of at least thinking beyond 2027 and at least have a long-lasting solution. And at this juncture, I want to send, I want to call to Nigerians again. Since the Minister of Power said that we should pray to God to give us power, then I think we should unanimously pray to God, oh God, give us power, oh God, protect us. Because those saddled with the responsibility can no longer protect us. God, we are actually in need of your support, 24/7 protection, because nobody is safe in this country.
We're actually in need of this of God's support, but then again, this is not something God will come down from the heaven to do.
Of course, God cannot change the narrative until you have changed it
We're not
yourself.
going to pray to Him. They should wear the shoes. It fits. They should wear it and do the needful. That's just it.
Of course, we have been advocating, especially what S24 and some other media stations have been doing. You know, I gave you an example that very day. If you ask me to dismantle this studio, within a blink of an eye, I can't dismantle it. But if you ask me to fix it back, it may likely take me 2 days. So subsequently, we will be there. We have celebrated our own 27 years of uninterrupted democracy. By then, when we reach maybe like 80 years of uninterrupted democracy, I believe if we are still alive, the narrative will actually change.
Like somewhere I saw on social media, the person, and I quote, he said, and Fela go feel say we get bad government. What is actually happening now is way terrible than what he sang way back.
Of course, I remember when Idris Abdul Karim sang a song, Nigeria Jaga Jaga. Well, we're not jaga jaga, but we're praying for the best.
We're not, but they should do the needful. Wear that shoe. It fits them. If they feel they know they can, that position suits them, then they should do the right thing. They should protect the citizens. That is just one thing we're asking
when
of
the
them.
Smoke is too much, I think you need to step out of the kitchen.
It does not fit you, then step out, like you said. Quickly moving on, and we'll really not like dissect this, because this is like a disheartening headlines that is coming from the Daily Trust, and he said, we buried our father without our mother.
This is absolutely
disheartening.
This is absolutely uncalled for. Somebody that served for at least almost 30-something years. He have dedicated his life to the service and protection of this country.
The country and the same country.
Look at how the story went. He was traumatized. His family were traumatized. At the tail end, he died from medical complications. He died. And this is to tell you, if I give you an example, those army are now becoming vulnerable in the hands of those kidnappers and terrorists. Because if you remember, Colonel Abu Ali was killed. General Al-Qali was killed. General Musa Uba was killed. General Hussein Ibrahima was killed. And subsequently on Sunday, we saw the demise of General Abubakar Rabi. What is this thing telling you? From the political angle, if you look at the political angle, this thing is going to lay a foundation of corruption. Because people will say that, okay, after leaving office, if I did not steal or if I did not loot, if subsequently I was kidnapped, then my family will use that money in order to pay for my ransom, because the government have not been doing enough to rescue our fellow citizens that are there in the forest. because they are there not on excursion, they are there based on captives. And we saw recently how some governors are even trying to go into truth and reconciliation and even integrating those people back to the society. What a shameful and a flamboyant decision. This is shameful. Some people that cause trauma to fellow Nigerians, and you're still trying to integrate them back to society. The only repentant bandit, according to Nasir El-Rufai, is a dead one. And those people are all over social media, posting, TikToking, going on a live stream, and even give away
want to be the repentant ones, because like if you check the antecedent, or if you check this, most of these bandits, some of them do it because of the monetary gain.
Of course.
There are some people who are coerced into banditry. There are some people who are held on ransom into banditry. So I feel if they are going to integrate those kind of people back into the society, it might be fair, but their mind has been polluted. Their mind has been polluted.
From the first time, we are all Nigerians. Are we not feeling the pains of what is going on in this country? The harsh policies. Are we not feeling the pains? Why is it that we are yet to become bandits? Are they the only Nigerians that they sought to go the other way in order to get money? It all boils down to the mindset, orientation, and logical thinking. And what are you telling me now? Are you telling me now whosoever is aggrieved, then he will just venture into banditry business? This is a myopic thinking. We need to think that Nigeria is our own country.
Some are coerced. I'm not making excuses for them, and because whatever they do is despicable, and which is not something anybody should stand for. But then again, now look at, because it still falls back to our security, it still falls back to our military, it still falls back to our defense. If they are being given large sum of money just to protect its citizens, and like we said, one thing I know Nigeria for is there is no sector or there is no section that you will go down that you will not see corruption. And the level of corruption in every sector and every part is like, I would say 95% to 5%. So how much or how many times do they want us to clamor for just peace and protection in our own country? Because most citizens, the vulnerable ones, in short, like Brutai said, and Nigerians, there's this normal talk, say, very soon it will touch everybody. So I think they are saying it is getting there, but what can be done for it not to get to that level?
Let them remember that whatever they are doing, one day, one time, they will leave the office. And if they think that they are safe now, they have entourage, they have escort, remember, it's just a matter of 4 years or 8 years. After that, you will be a common Nigerian citizen. And it is that very moment that you will remember that it will touch everybody.
And you don't touch her.
Because General Abe, nobody even knew that bandit would even come near to him. But look at what happened. On his way, he was adopted.
Exactly.
And look at how they actually maltreated him. We are not justifying the adoption of General Abe, because General Abe is one among Nigerians that were adopted. We have only God knows the number of people that are in the forest adopted. Only God knows, because all those statistics that will be given by statisticians or some civil society organization are undernumbered. We just have to pray for the safety and protection of this country, because we have no any country apart from Nigeria.
Like you said, we'll have to pray, but we're not going to keep it down on prayers. Let's do the needful, like everybody out there.
2027 is coming.
Exactly.
Yeah,
get your PVC and do the needful.
And may God bless Nigeria.
Amen. We'll do this again tomorrow. All right. That brings us to the end of Newspaper Review. Up next is S24 Report, coming to you after the break. Don't go away.
For years, Nigeria's security challenges have continued to evolve, from insurgency in the northeast to banditry, kidnapping, communal clashes, and emerging cyber threats, raising concerns about the capacity of conventional approaches to effectively address the country's complex security landscape. As calls grow for more inclusive solutions, security experts, policy makers, lawmakers and industry players converged on Abuja for the Nigerian People's Strategic Conference to explore how local capacity, innovation, and community participation can strengthen the nation's security architecture. Addressing participants, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, emphasized that security is a collective responsibility and cannot be left solely in the hands of security agencies, while stressing the need to strengthen Nigeria's local security architecture for maximum effectiveness.
As a Nigerian, anytime you go to bed, after your prayers, if you pray, ask yourself, what positive thing have I contributed to the success of my country today? What can I do better? And when you wake up in the morning, take that as a drive that I must contribute to the safety and security of my country. I want to encourage every Nigerian. We have a lot of capacities. Please don't allow them die with you. Bring them up, and that's the only way we can move forward. We must strengthen our local defense and security industrial base, and we must patronize them when they produce. Because if you do not patronize, you don't encourage them.
Similarly, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, and Chairman of the Senate Committee on Capital Markets and Defense, Senator Osita Izunazo, described effective local governance as a strategic tool in addressing insecurity.
Government is looking inwardly to make sure we produce what we use, both in security of lives and properties and also health security. Recently, we've seen the policy shift in government that is encouraging health security through local manufacturing. That is the model, that is the template, that is how it's supposed to be. We have the capacity. Security is too important to be left solely to security agencies. I've explained this. We also have to address the socio-economic drivers of insecurity, poverty, unemployment, social exclusion and abuse, illiteracy, and youth disenfranchisement often create fatal grounds for insecurity.
Earlier, convener of the conference, Dr. Charles Awuzie, said Nigeria's security situation, though challenging, can be transformed through collective action and strategic partnerships. He noted that integrating private sector capacity into the national security framework has become imperative in building a modern security ecosystem.
We are here to amplify national efforts. We are here to build bridges. We are here to encourage responsible collaboration. We are here to ask one question. How can Nigeria mobilize every lawful capacity available to make our country safer?
The conference, themed Building a Modern Security Ecosystem, Integrating Private Sector Capacity into Nigeria's National Security Architecture, also featured panel discussions, interactive sessions, and exhibitions showcasing locally made security equipment and technology. Gloria Atta, reporting for S24 Television.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Political Arena with me, Abubakar Traki, and I'm here with my guest,
Ibrahim Suleiman Habibu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us. So, as a politician and as a member of ADC, it seems like that political party is getting momentum with the way the party is actually accommodating. Many people are trooping into that. Recently, we have seen Senator Rabiu Musa Konkoso coming back to that party, and Nasiru Gauna coming back to that party. Does this thing sound to you as a surprise, or it was just a long-term plan?
Not at all. Not at all. If you look at the people that comes together right from the beginning of the ADC, right from the inception of ADC, sorry, you will know that those are the kind of people that know what they're doing actually. And you know definitely their own homework will not just go like that. There will definitely be a result for it. So it's not a surprise. It's like a result of a very hard work being put by some people like Malam Nasir El-Rufai, the national chairman of the party, Senator David Mark. We have people like Rauf Aregbesola, which all of them are very people of high intellect, and they're very good and they know the terrain of the politics in Nigeria. So it's not a surprise, actually. I know more are coming, and you will be kind of more surprised in the coming days.
With the caliber of the likes of
Peter Obi.
Malam Nasir, the likes of Peter Obi.
Exactly.
Don't you think that this is going to be a setback to that political party, because most of them want to clinch the presidential ticket to that political party? How are you planning to resolve that internal conflict in your political party?
Well, actually, this is democracy. And in democracy, everybody has a right to contest for a political office for as much as he meets with the requirements that is needed for one to participate or to contest or to aspire. So definitely all of them are very good aspirant or good candidates that each and every one of them is being presented or will be presented for the general election. None of them will lose election against this incumbent president, actually. So I'm pretty confident about all of them, and I'm pretty sure we have a kind of an internal democracy put in place to make sure that there will be free, fair, and credible primaries in the ADC, and whoever emerges as the candidate of the party, all of us will rally around him, and then we'll kind of drive him to victory.
Okay. So is there any plans that ADC is doing in order to counter the power of incumbency?
Well, Nigeria is the biggest democracy in Africa, and the whole world is watching, and the whole of Africa is looking up to Nigeria. So definitely, even the president himself knows that there are many people looking up to him as a leader, as a number one leader in Africa, and definitely he's going to do the right thing. You do not need to kind of set up some armies to win an election. All you need is the people, and definitely the masses are with the ADC. The people are not happy. So many things are happening. Many of us were members of the APC before, and we left because we realized that things are going south, and this is not actually the basis upon which the APC was being formed to. We come together just like the way we are doing right now, come together to fight the PDP back in 2015. And you can bear me witness that in the 2015, many of these people that are now kind of withdraw from the APC to the ADC were there, but they realized that we're kind of deviating from the kind of the master plan of the APC. So we must have to bring something or an alternative to the APC, which I think the ADC is the alternative right now. And definitely the ADC is going to learn from the mistakes of the APC. So I'm pretty sure we're going to kind of win the election. And I am pretty sure the president himself would accept defeat and congratulate our candidate in the next general election.
That is your words, and that is your own projection.
Exactly.
Atiku Abubakar, Amechi, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, what is the fate of ADC?
Well, all of them are key parties within our own fold, and they have a role to play in the next general election. Like I told you earlier, all of them are going to vie for the seats. They're going to kind of contest for the primaries of the ADC. And like I told you, from many of them, whoever won the primaries, we're going to rally behind him, and all of them will kind of bring on board their kind of experience, their people, their support, and whatever it takes to make sure that we defeated the APC in the next general election.
There's a gentleman agreement. We have been seeing this since the inception of democracy. And even it's applicable in the whole of the United States. So as a member of ADC, is there any plan to zone the presidential ticket out, or we are taking it back to the north?
Well, zoning the presidential candidates to the south or leaving it in the north or whatever, I don't think is democratic. is undemocratic. It's just a kind of a gentleman agreement, just like you said. So a gentleman agreement is a gentleman agreement, but democracy is democracy. And there are some certain rules in democracy that you can kind of, unless if you come together and agree. But in ADC, what we're trying to do is to kind of restraighten the democracy of Nigeria.
How?
If you will ask me, as a northern Nigerian, a House of Fulani man from Plateau State, do I want the presidential ticket to go to the south, or do I want the north to take the ticket? I will tell you that in my own opinion, I would like the ticket to go to the south, and to the south, most preferably to the southeast. But whoever won or gets the election or get the primaries in the ADC, I will work effortlessly to make sure that he kind of clinch to the presidential seat.
Okay, let's delve into youth participation in politics. And if we go back to history, the likes of Murtala,
Yeah.
and the likes of Sani Abacha,
Yeah.
and many more, most of them ruled this country in their early 30s.
30s,
Some of
exactly.
them in their late 20s. And looking at our contemporary youth, because most of our youth are eager to venture into active politics without any preparation, without any blueprint. What can you say about that?
Well, I've been saying this for a very long time. Like, I want to use the word of my mentor, Malam Nasru Ahmed El-Rufai. There was a very event he was attending at the Chatham House, I think somewhere around 2022, that he was saying that politics is not something that, or political office is not something that somebody will just call you and say, okay, Tunde, come and pick, or Lao Tanko, come and pick. No, it's just like farming, that one has to get into it, get dirty, learn in the process, put more effort to it, sow back and all that before you can kind of reap a harvest, a bountiful harvest. So politics is like that. You need to come in, get mentored, like the way others were being mentored. We know how many of these politicians have been mentored in the past, and now is their own time. And our people are kind of lazy. They just want to our young people, let me put it this way, are kind of lazy, I'm sorry to say. They just want to jump into the system and be governor. You can't just come without any experience and be governor. I would really like to see young people kind of coming up, participating from maybe the State House of Assembly, the House of Reps. When you get to some point that you gathered some experience, then you kind of vie for the seat of the governor. It's good for somebody at the age of 45, 46, 47 to 50 to vie for the seat of the governor. But at the age of 30-something, seeking for the seat of the governor, it hardly happens, even in the US, where we are learning the democracy from, or we're looking up to democratically. But coming...
In a nutshell, we are running out of time. In a nutshell, ahead of 2027,
yes,
what are your call to the youth in ensuring stable democracy, free, fair, and
credible
elections?
I've been calling on the youth, and I'll keep calling, like I told you, or let me see it. Like currently, I'm contesting for the seat of the National Youth Leader of the ADC.
You're willing to catch the bull by the horn.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that it takes the responsibility of the youth, and only the responsibility of the youth, to ensure credible, free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria. Because most of these manipulations that are happening in our elections is the youth that do all this. It's the youth that participate in the think tank, come up with the architecture, the framework on how to manipulate elections. It's the youth that will be sent as foot soldiers to kind of go and, and all those kind of things is the youth that do.
For you to have more political orientation.
Orientation, and yes, and focus. And focus, exactly.
Well, thank you so much. That has been Political Arena.
Thank you very much. You're welcome, Alabakar.
And we look forward to
Thank you very much.
Well, that is all we have for today's package of Political Arena. Thank you for staying with us, and stay next for our own S24 report and the commentary. Thank you.
On the rolling hillside of Ngong, towering winds turbine spin against the Kenyan sky, producing clean energy and helping power the country's future. But beyond the electricity they generate, these turbines also tell another story. One of women engineers breaking barriers and proving their places in industries traditionally dominated by men. Among them is engineer Jennifer Gache, whose career has been closely tied to Kenya's renewable energy journey. Standing beneath the turbines, she reflects on the significance of seeing a vision become reality. For Jennifer, the projects represent years of advocacy and learning. At a time when renewable energy was still viewed with caution, she sought specialized training in Sweden, where she studied wind power technology and modeling. Today, as turbines rotate across the landscape, Jennifer says the greatest reward is seeing an idea take shape and benefit communities.
Standing on this point and seeing these wind turbines turning and generating clean energy for the country, I feel very happy and very gratified. And I feel that this is an example that all the countries need to emulate.
While Jennifer is helping drive Kenya's renewable energy ambitions, another woman engineer is transforming waste into opportunity. Inside a bustling Nairobi factory, engineer Nzambi Mati oversees the production of eco-friendly paving blocks made from recycled plastic waste. Our company turns discarded plastic into durable building materials, offering both environmental and economic solution. But success has not come without challenges. Nzambi says women in technical fields often face additional scrutiny beyond the demands of the work itself.
This is a very manual labor intensive sector, I'll not lie. Biologically speaking, as a woman, you're kind of on the disadvantaged end. So you find what your male counterpart can do, you can only do maybe a half, especially when it comes to like physical lifting, like a lot of physical elements. And so you find from an employer perspective, it's expensive to actually hire women.
Manufacturing remains physically demanding, but Nzambi has built a thriving enterprise while challenging assumption about who belongs on the factory floor. Despite those realities, she continues to innovate, proving that engineering can be a powerful tool for solving environmental challenges.
As a woman engineer, I was able to tell my story, and I was able to indicate that wind power is a feasible energy source. And luckily for me also, the organization trained me. So I went to Sweden in Malmö to learn about wind power technology. And when we were there, we were also taught how to do wind power modeling. And now when I came back with that knowledge, I was now empowered to even be able to convince the organization of the fact that we must balance our energy by using some renewable and non-renewable methods. And when you come and you see a project that we initiated has taken ground and it is working and it is an example and it is being looked upon by the citizens and by other people, you get so much joy from a career. So I can say that as an engineer, I've had a very, very fulfilling work as a profession.
Back at Ngong, mentorship is helping open doors for the next generation of women engineers. Among those benefiting is civil engineering graduate Linda Lichuma, who says guidance from experienced professionals has been invaluable.
We, at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, we are big on mentorship, and personally, under the mentorship of Engineer Jennifer Gache, I have learned quite a lot. I work with her in the Women Engineers Committee at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. One thing I have learned from her, truthfully and honestly, is that young people need to be given an opportunity to walk into rooms where decisions are being made. Nothing really fully prepares you for how difficult it's going to be there, but I guess what sustains you there is the passion that you have, and then I guess the belief in yourself that you're a STEM person, you love the sciences, the mathematics, and everything all in between. I think that just kind of makes it fun.
Linda believes young engineers need opportunity to participate in decision-making spaces and gain real-world experiences. Jennifer's commitment to mentoring and community engagement has earned recognition across Africa.
I won an award from the Federation of African Engineer Organization as a woman engineer with excellence in practice. And I think that award is based on some of these things that I've done, because I've gone to so many communities, because currently I work for 8 countries. And in all these 8 countries, every time that vision of mine of supporting the local solutions.
From renewable energy projects on Kenya's hillsides to innovative recycling factories in Nairobi, women engineers are reshaping industries and inspiring future generations. Their work is helping power homes, reduce waste, create jobs, and expand opportunity for others. And as Kenya continues to grow, these women are proving that innovation is strongest when everyone has a chance to lead.
Hello and welcome to Security Update on S24 Television. My name is Gloria Atta, and here is a roundup of some of the major security developments making headlines today. Our first story highlights growing concerns over Nigeria's security situation. Despite spending more than 57 billion naira on security projects and operations in the first 4 months of 2026, a police report obtained by Newsmen shows that 98 criminal incidents, including 51 attacks and abductions, were recorded across the country in just 1 week. The record detailed 37 homicide cases, 27 bandit attacks, 24 kidnappings, 8 armed robberies and 2 terrorism-related incidents across several states, including Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, and Kebbi. One of the most disturbing incidents occurred in Zamfara State, where 39 residents were abducted after reportedly going into a forest to negotiate peace with a notorious bandit leader. In a separate development, troops of Operation Enduring Peace in Plateau State arrested a dismissed police inspector allegedly linked to an interstate arms trafficking syndicate. Security operatives recovered 2 locally fabricated pistols, 167 rounds of 9mm ammunition, and other items during the intelligence-led operation. Authorities say investigations are ongoing to uncover other members of the network suspected of supplying weapons to criminal groups. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Fansan Yamma have intensified clearance operations in Katsina State under Operation Clean Sweep III, launched following the death of retired Major General Rabe Abubakar, who was abducted by suspected terrorists. The military says several terrorist hideouts and logistic bases have been destroyed as troops continue efforts to dismantle criminal networks operating in the area. As Nigeria battles terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and the proliferation of illegal arms, security experts continue to call for stronger intelligence gathering, improved coordination among security agencies, and a more effective implementation of security resources. And that's our security update. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Tech World Updates, where we discuss technology, innovation and digital world. I am Aisha Mohammed. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. We begin in Nigeria, where concerns are growing over the safety of personal data in an increasingly digital society. A coalition of civil society organizations is sounding the alarm over what is described as a data protection crisis, warning that millions of Nigerians remain vulnerable due to weak enforcement of existing privacy and data protection laws. The development comes at a time when more citizens are relying on digital platforms from banking, communication, healthcare, and government services, raising fresh questions about cybersecurity, digital rights, and public trust in the country's digital ecosystem. Still in Nigeria, the conversation is shifting from protection to opportunity. The National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, says artificial intelligence could become Nigeria's next major wealth creator, potentially surpassing oil as a driver of economic growth. Speaking at the Port Harcourt Tech Expo, the agency highlighted the growing role of innovation, automation, and digital entrepreneurship in shaping the country's economic future. The statement reflects a broader global race to harness AI as governments and businesses invest heavily in emerging technologies. And that technological transformation is not limited to Nigeria. In Southern Africa, Namibia has reached a major milestone with the launch of its first private mobile network powered by advanced LTE and 5G technology. The project is expected to support industry requiring secure, high-speed connectivity while accelerating digital transformation across sectors ranging from mining to logistics and manufacturing. And finally, to the international stage, the United Kingdom is moving ahead with one of the world's most far-reaching online safety measures. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced plans for a social media ban targeting users under the age of 16. Affecting platforms include TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, while also imposing tighter controls on online gaming communication channels. Supporters argue the move is necessary to protect children from online harm, while critics say it raises important questions about digital freedom, enforcement, and the future of internet regulation. The decision adds to a growing global debate over how governments should balance innovation, safety, and digital rights in the age of social media. And that's it on Tech World Update, where innovation meets impact and the future stays in focus. Stay with us, as after the break is Entertainment Update with Khadija Mohammed. Thank you.
Hello, amazing people. Welcome to Entertainment Update, where celebrity keep us talking, award organizers keep us guessing, and today's cultural story might just make you call your family group chat immediately. If you've ever thought your family reunion was unusual, wait till you hear what happens in Madagascar. Starting with excitement is building across Africa's music industry, as organizers of the Headies Awards have announced that details of the 18th edition of the prestigious ceremony will be unveiled today, June 15, 2026. The announcement has sparked speculation among fans and industry stakeholders, with many eager to know the venue, nominees, performance lineup, and possible international collaborations. And while music fans are busy predicting Headies nominees, a Nollywood veteran has steered a completely different conversation this time about who truly runs the home. The veteran Nollywood actor Adewale, popularly known as Baba Elosho, is generating reaction online after revealing in a recent interview that his wife is the head of his family. The respected actor explained that his wife plays a leading role in managing the home and making important family decisions. His comment quickly sparks debate across all social media, with many praising him for being honest and confident enough to acknowledge his wife's influence. And speaking of family, the next story takes family connection to a whole new level, one that extends far beyond in this lifetime. Welcome to Madagascar. Imagine attending a family gathering where some of the guests passed away years ago. In Madagascar, the Malangasi people observed a unique cultural tradition known as Famadian, which translates to the turning of the bones. Every 5 to 7 years, families gather to open ancestral tombs and carefully bring out the remains of their loved ones. The remains are wrapped in a fresh silk cloth before family members dance, sing, and celebrate together. Dance, sing, and celebrate together. Rather than mourning, the ceremony is seen as a joyful occasion that honors ancestors and keeps family bonds alive. And that's a wrap on Entertainment Update for today. Thank you for joining me. I am Khadija Mohammed, and I will be back with more entertainment updates, celebrity buzz, and fascinating stories from around the globe. Until then,
Hello and welcome to your Sport Update. I hope you had a refreshing weekend and are ready for another exciting week in the world of sports. I am Martha Opalanidu, and this is a Monday packed with goals, headlines, and champions. Here are your top stories for today.
First, we have Sweden, who delivered one of the standard performances of the FIFA World Cup so far, thrashing Tunisia 5-1 in their Group F opener. The Swedes were in dominant form from start to finish, with Yazin Ayari scoring twice, while star forwards Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres also found the back of the net. Tunisia briefly threatened a comeback after pulling 1 goal back before halftime, but Sweden's attacking quality proved too much to handle. The emphatic victory sent Sweden to the top of Group F and serves as an early warning to the rest of the competition as they continue their quest for World Cup success. Moving on, we have Spain, who have received a major boost ahead of their opening World Cup fixture, with teenage sensation Lamine Yamal declared fit and ready for action. Head coach Luis de la Fuente confirmed that the Barcelona star is in what he described as perfect condition after concerns over a minor fitness issue. The 18-year-old has become one of football's brightest young talents and is expected to play a key role in Spain's campaign. His return comes as welcome news for Spanish fans, who will be hoping the winger can help guide La Roja to a strong start in the tournament. And finally, congratulations are in order for Edo Queens, who have been crowned champions of the Nigerian Women Football League for the second time. The Benin-based side secured the title after a goalless draw against Bayelsa Queens in the NWFL Super 6 finale. The result was enough to see Edo Queens finish top of the standings and successfully reclaim the league crown. The triumph also means Edo Queens will represent Nigeria in the upcoming WAFUB Women's Champions League qualifiers, further cementing their status as one of the country's leading women's football clubs. And that's all for today's sports update. Thank you for joining me as we kick off a brand new week in the world of sports. Have a productive Monday, stay safe, and keep enjoying the beautiful game and the stories that make sports so special. Coming up next is PG News after the break.
Good afternoon, Naija people. Today to arena insecurity wahala full. Our ear don't tire for insecurity matter, but if we know Yanam, how we go know where we sit down for Naija? Number one, be said, Defense Headquarters don't officially confirm say retired Major General Rebe Abubakar, we been the former Director of Defense Information, don't pay me. The late general where bad boys been kidnap him and his wife along the Castina Matazo Road, don't die sake of medical complications where he gets inside kidnappers' hand. Military delegation where the Chief of Administration, Major General I.M. Abdullahi lead, go visit Katsina State Government to sympathize with them. As in they deliver message from the Military High Command, General Abdullahi Yan say the work where the late officer do for Naija, now waiting they no go ever forget. And in consequence say the armed forces of Naija go use everything where they get to trace the bad boys and make sure say them face justice. Another heavy wave of coordinated kidnapping and bandit attack across different states don't cause fresh security emergency for the country. Reports show say the criminal networks don't change style as they expand their operations to target soft areas for inside vulnerable communities and schools across states like Kogi, Edo, and Ogun. As Ogun people see waiting they happen, Ogun State government under Governor Dapo Abiodun don't sharp announce say they change the whole security structure around schools. The state don't increase surveillance, they don't activate their school protection squad, and they deploy heavy tech systems to monitor everywhere so that bad boys no go fit enter and make schools feel remain safe place for children to learn. The Christian Association of Nigeria don't stand up. One political leader strictly say Nigeria democracy no go fit survive the heavy bloodshed and the kidnapping where they happen everywhere. As they end the 3 days national mourning period, CAN President Archbishop Daniel Oho lead one nationwide Black Sunday program to honor everybody who don't die inside this violence. And inside one strong message where regional church leaders don't support, the association converse give politicians people say they put eye for 2027 election matter instead maybe they face the security of citizens where they suffer this attack. The clerics, including Big Voices for Jos and Borno, declare no security, no election stance, and they demand say make security, no election stance, and they demand say make federal government rush implement state and community policy, make local accountability, rush implement state and community policy, make local accountability feel return. Many questions they fly up and down on top the structure of Nigeria's security system. As the money where government they spend on top defense no they match the safety where citizens they see for ground. Fresh data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, shows say Nigeria defense spending don't jump up by 55%. It rise from $1.35 billion to $2.1 billion. State government join add over 525 billion naira. Security analysts talk say the contradiction big. Take off say the military they only wait for bad boys to attack before they react areas. Experts going to call for proper review of troop morale, feed intelligence and transparency for the money matter. May they feel know why all these heavy billions no they bring better results for our security. And obodo Igbo people safe. Don't they worry about the big money where they enter military all over the world. This one now not be Nigeria alone. United Nations Secretary General don't send strong warning to global superpowers. Say the world they stand for one very dangerous crossroad. As in they point out how world priorities don't scatter. The UN chief review say the money where whole world they spend on top military matter don't climb reach $2.7 trillion where nobody don't ever see before or where nobody even understand how the money they work. As more than 1/4 of people for the world they live inside conflict areas and close to 120 million people don't run come out for their house. The UN chief can they beg global leaders may they shift their money come out from things where they destroy life, where they cause fear, may they use and fight poverty, climate change and inequality. At least we go see the result of that one. Now here we go hang on today. We go continue to pray for Nigeria and even for the world because now we get them and God will help us repair them. My name is Sidika Yusuf.